amazing surprise for a Friday. I was just walking around and I checked my phone and I saw that I made it to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much. This really made my Friday.
So as promised back in June, now that I've hit 1,000 subscribers, I will make that video confessing my most embarrassing and awkward adventures in the naked German saunas. So, without further ado then, let's get into it. And you're watching Wanted and Adventure Living Abroad. As I mentioned in the first sauna video, here in Germany people go completely naked in the saunas, and most of the time they are mixed sex, so both men and women are naked in the same area. The sauna experience is definitely something I've grown to love, but at first there were a few surprises. My very first German sauna experience was when Mr. German Man took me to a magical place called Therme Erding, which according to Wikipedia is the largest thermal bath complex in Europe. Apparently 4,000 people visit every day. That's a lot of naked flesh. We bought a day pass and then we headed into the changing room. We, as in Mr. German Man and I together, because there was just one changing area for everyone. There were some little stalls though, sort of like in a department store dressing room, so we ducked into one of those to change and then stashed our belongings in a locker. We were in our bathing suits at this point because first we went over to the water park side where they have indoor water slides and you have to wear your bathing suit in that section. But then after we had our fun in there, we headed on over to the sauna section. I ducked back into the changing room to grab something from the locker while Mr. German Man waited for me out by the warm pools. And on the way out, I was kind of rushing and I came around the corner in the changing room and ran smack right into this completely naked old guy. As you can imagine, I was pretty startled and apologized profusely as I bolted for the door. I got out and started telling Mr. German Man how I had just collided into a totally naked guy when I suddenly realized my Mr. German Man was standing there butt naked too. We're in the sauna section now, he explained. No bathing suits allowed. I glanced around and realized, yup, I was the only one standing there with my suit on. So off it went. And that was probably the worst part, actually taking my bathing suit off, like removing it while people were watching. We headed into the first sauna, which was a small room with wooden benches all around the sides. You're not supposed to just plop your naked butt onto the benches. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not allowed. So we laid our towels out on a bench and then sat down. There were a few other people in there with us, and you just basically tried not to stare at their naked body. Or at least that's what I focused on doing the whole time. Or not doing. It was nice and warm and really quite enjoyable. A few of those types of saunas later, Mr. German Man led me into a room that was considerably warmer in temperature. He figured I could handle it because I was from South Florida. But this time, we weren't just popping into a sauna and then leaving whenever we wanted to. The room filled up until we were literally sitting body to naked body. And then a guy came in and started fanning the room with a towel. The circulating warm air and the wall-to-wall bodies quickly went to my head, and I started wondering, what would happen if I passed out? I decided it might not be so bad because there were enough people all around me to break my fall, but still not ideal. Of course, I could leave if I really had to, but we were on the top rung of the wooden benches, so I'd have to climb over a bunch of other sweaty, naked people to get out, and they told us at the beginning to try our best not to leave because opening the door would let in the cold air and ruin it for the other 30 people in there. I did make it, but just barely. I was seconds away from bolting when the guy finally stopped waving that towel and let us out of there. Mr. German Man made a beeline for the water bar in the nearest pool and grabbed me several bottles of water to down. I felt better after that, but I still took it easy for the rest of that visit. By my second time to a German sauna, I basically felt like a pro. We went to a different place, but the atmosphere was pretty similar. Inside the actual sauna areas and in the pools, people are uncovered and naked. But walking from place to place, the people generally wrap a towel around themselves. At the first sauna, most of the women wore the towel up above their chest. But at this second sauna, I noticed women walking with the towel wrapped just around their waist, like the men. Not wanting to seem prude, I went ahead and did the same thing. When in Rome, right? Everything was going great, and after a couple hours of sauna going, we decided to get a drink. Right next to the pools where people were swimming around, totally naked, and right next to the main walkway where women were walking around topless was this little area of seats where you could order coffees or smoothies and such. Mr. German Man and I took a seat and started looking at the menu when suddenly the guy working there rushed over, his face flushed red with embarrassment. "Ma'am, you can't sit here exposed like that," he gasped. Now, he had actually said that line in German, and my German understanding at the time was not great, so he had to repeat himself in broken English, at which point I yanked the towel pretty much up to my chin, and then, satisfied with my now appropriateness, he left. I was mortified. I had just gotten used to being naked, and then he comes up and reacts as though, "Oh, my naked form is so inappropriate and shameful," when there were literally men and women walking right by our table. I could have reached out and touched them, but I'm pretty sure that's not allowed either. Okay, so those were the big stories for this video, but before I go, 3 more things about the German sauna. First of all, those warm pools I mentioned, yeah, everyone just swims around totally naked in them. Gave new meaning to the breaststroke. I'm sorry, that was really corny, I know, but I couldn't help it. Secondly, I was pretty shocked the first time I went to read that the minimum age to partake is 16. I guess I just figured it would be 18, but to the Germans, being naked at the sauna is not one bit sexual. It's all about relaxation. But still, 16? Really? And thirdly, while I did feel pretty comfortable going to the sauna with Mr. German Man, a lot of Germans are also comfortable going with friends and some even with co-workers. I draw the line at co-workers. I don't want to see those people naked. No, thank you. So my question for you is, if you've been to a sauna, how was your experience? And if you haven't, would you consider it? Please let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching and subscribing. Please don't forget to hit that like button and be sure to go check out my Google+ and Facebook page where I share behind-the-scenes photos of my travels and videos. Until next time, auf Wiedersehen!